So we're going to do a video today and just kind of show what type of stands we're using, what he went with, what I went with, why we like them, things that we like about the other stand as well. There's things I like about my brother's stand too. But I will tell you right now, so we came to my brother's house here and we are dads first and foremost. And we hunt with our kids and include them in everything. So you'll hear them in the background. That's my niece and nephew, and the dog is even down here joining us as well.
Oh yeah.
So
you'll definitely see him running around in tonight's video probably, and even future ones. So.
Oh yeah. So I went with a lone wolf assault is what I went with, and I have the lone wolf sticks. And then last year I just ran with a lone wolf seat, but I did upgrade this year to it's a Hunt Comfort Outpost seat. It's from Amazon. I'll kind of go through some of the modifications that I've made, and then we'll kind of review each stand and go from there. So which one do you have?
Yeah, I have the XOP. I just got it last Christmas. I haven't even gotten to use it out in the woods yet. Like you ran with yours this past season. I was kind of pinned down with my ladder stand and then my tent, and it was good. I mean, I was productive. I got a nice buck out of it, but my frustration is I've always wanted to be more mobile, and after seeing you being able to get around, I decided to go with this style as well. I went ahead and ended up picking up the XOP
Vanish.
Yeah, the XOP Vanish. I went ahead and Cody DeQuisto at the end of the season, I was trying to get out one last time. He did a solid for me and actually sent me some sticks that, I basically wanted to get out one last time into that timber, and was able to do so just to kind of get up.
But they were actually out of the sticks.
They were out of the sticks.
And he got you floor models. So that was right there, just shows you what kind of customer service they have, and how they care about the hunters. And now they're part of, I think he's still doing XOP stuff, but he's also part of the Lone Wolf custom gears with his dad, who started Lone Wolf originally. They kept the name after they sold the company. They kept the rights to the name Lone Wolf, and now they've came out with a Lone Wolf custom gear. Of course, the year after I buy the whole setup. So, and to be honest, if I would have known that Cody, was part of XOP and grew up basically using his dad's stands and really just kind of improved upon them, I would have taken a serious look at XOP. I don't regret getting Lone Wolf. I love it. We'll kind of go through the numbers here. It's definitely a little bit lighter of a setup, and I think it's mostly to do with the sticks. These sticks are far lighter. I shouldn't say far lighter, but they are definitely noticeably lighter. They're noticeably. There's my nephew.
It's okay, buddy.
They are noticeably lighter than the XOP sticks. And I haven't really noticed that they feel cheaper by any means. I have to. The one thing I will say, at the end of the season, once during season and definitely at the end of the season, I had to tighten all these parts that move. So your steps that swivel down, I had to tighten those down and just retighten the bolts. It was simple. And so we'll go over Chad's stand first, and then we'll go over mine and kind of some of the modifications that we did, what we like about them, and go from there.
All right. So with the XOP Vanish. It's a little bit heavier.
Chocolate, do you want this?
It's a little bit heavier of a stand. I ended up putting on here some modifications as far as, if you can see, I just kind of wrapped it in some tape, some rope. Not that you have to, but I did this basically to try to eliminate some of the sound that we might have. Just knowing how it is out in the woods when you're moving around. God forbid if you end up tinking anything. And knowing me and being klutzy, especially up in the air, I don't want to lose out on anything coming through because of that. One of the main things that I love about the XOP, and the reason that I really truly went with them, was I love this quarter lock mechanism. This is one of those patents that they had. Like I said before, they're a heavier stick, but for that quarter turn mechanism, I just feel like I don't have to do anything extra. I could literally take a stack of 4 out without even having to do much. When you lock these in place, I mean, they're solid. They're not going anywhere. Like, this is it. And I went with this rope modification. So instead of using the actual cams, I just went with the rope. So we're gonna try that out this season. Try to make it a little bit lighter. As you can see, my hope is that when I'm up in the tree, I'll have a couple of them off in future videos, hopefully when we put them out with us going up and down to show you guys a little bit more. I'm hoping that I can just have 2 of them off, start with the first one, have the second one already in hand, have the other 2 on my back still, be able to get all the way up and be able to just pop that off with the stick tail in here, and to be able to get up that tree fairly quickly and quietly, which is most important.
So what is the stick tailings then?
These stick tailings here really are like these clips. You just I ordered them separate. We can put the link to that below as far as how to order them. You kind of give them the specifications of what stand you have. Sean liked the system, and as you'll see here in his video, he actually just got them for this upcoming season as well, just because this concept to open up the middle, because as you'll see, I'll show you my backpack and my setup with my camera gear. We'll be able to kind of put everything in here. With the option, all right, one thing that I did do that you'll be able to see in the Lone Wolf custom gear that you'll see, one of the concepts is where that seat kind of will sit up, and you've seen or you will see in future videos of others that have that, where this is a great concept to be able to pack things on top and to hold it. So what I did is I just created here, I took my seat and I really just can flip this over. I just put some rope on here, and I'm gonna hook it around here like so, and now I have that up like this. So any gear that I pack, I can pack onto my sticks with my backpack. This will sit just like this with anything on here, and I can literally put it on. Okay. One of the things that I did purchase, XOP has this transport system. Again, we can put the link below on the XOP transport system. But in reality, it's really just like the backpack system with the kidney belt.
Molly.
Yeah, it's called a Molly, Molly straps. But it's got the kidney belt attachment that you can put around you. It takes all that pressure off of your shoulders and kind of distributes the weight. So you're able to kind of carry this load out. So the specifications for this, like I said, when Sean gives you his specs on his, this is a little bit heavier. We're looking at 33 pounds. We're looking at, hold on buddy, hold on. We're looking at 33 pounds with the stick talon, or my climbing sticks on there with the stick talons and the Molly strap. If I were to just put this on my back, you're adding an additional 33 pounds on. Like I said, with this on though, you literally do not feel like it's 33 pounds. Okay.
So that's 33 pounds with the
with
transport
my actual
system.
Yeah.
And then you got your seat.
I got my seat.
You got your sticks.
I got all my sticks.
And then the rope mods. So without the rope mods, you're probably actually a little heavier, because that saves you some weight.
Because really with these cam buckles, you're looking at a little bit more just because of the buckle itself. So I am cutting down probably a little bit. I wouldn't say it's a huge amount. If you want to spend the extra money, you can. Otherwise, you really don't have to. I just kind of like the look of it. To be quite honest with you, you would never even really have to wrap it, but I wanted to make sure that this was secure and in place. I mean, with this, I could literally take it out there, and I mean it's in place. It's not gonna go anywhere when I transport it out. My backpack itself, with transporting my gear, you're looking at right now it's at 14 pounds, but I don't have my camera in there. I do have my camera arm. So what we're looking at is really the muddy. And I have the camera arm, so basically, you know, I'll go up in the tree, I got my buckles in here, I'll be able to strap that around the tree, pop this into place, and I'll be able to you know, film our hunts this year, which is going to be a new concept for us. We've been hunting for quite a few years now, but we've never really officially filmed our hunts, so this is something that we're looking to get into. Not only just to kind of capture on film and to have some memories, but to put out there for the viewers to watch. and hopefully enjoy as much as we do when we're out there, either by ourselves or when we take our boys out that are getting old enough to hunt. You know, you'll see some cool videos.
So what backpack do you have there?
This here, honestly, it's just one of the Alps Outdoors. It's got some different pockets, and then I bought just kind of an accessory pouch. Really, I could wear this separately, but this is what I bought. Just, I'm hoping that I can just put my camera gear in here, and you know, I can take this off separately if I want to. One of the things that I did buy as another mod was Lone Wolf has a hook that I can put around the tree. That way, when I'm up in my going up the tree, when I take my stand off, I can hang it on that hook to kind of give myself two hands, hopefully to make sure that the noise reduction will be there, where I'm not clanking anything. Our hope is that we're going to be aggressive enough to where we can get close to bedding and to get on top of these big bucks that are smart and elusive. So we're hoping that by being aggressive and being able to do this type of hunting style, we'll be able to capture some more big bucks over the years here. So we shall see.
All right, so like I said, so I went with the Lone Wolf. This is the Alpha 2, and so got this at Cabela's, and ended up coming. You know, I got the set that came with the 4 sticks. I had to buy the sticks separate, so I got that. And so last season, kind of not at the very start. I started off the season where I had a hang on, and then I had a ladder stand. And really, the ladder stand's mostly for my son when he comes out. He ended up getting his first deer ever, and a 4-point buck for him. We hunt mostly, really, last year entirely state land. So we hunt state land up near my cottage, and then we go even further up north to where my grandfather lives, but all state land. And so with this setup, what I liked was the ability to get mobile and the ability to kind of move from tree to tree. And I started listening to Dan Infalt. I started watching Hunting Public. Those guys are very mobile, and I just liked the concepts. It made a lot of sense to me, and so I went and got this set up. So things that I did. So I started off with the kit. I had actually these stick caddy or whatever they call it, and it's the one made by Lone Wolf itself, and it was good, but it sat right here. I used that all season. I liked it. It was good. It was functional. It did its job. But now that I'm actually going to be carrying in my backpack to actually film more, I wanted more of a cavity here. So I saw my brother, he ended up getting these stick talons, and I seen them on the DIY Sportsman. He's another guy I like a lot. He's hunted on the Hunting Public with those guys, and he's very mobile as well. And he does not only stands like this, but he also does like the tether or the harness, the tree harness that you have there, the saddle hunting. I'm sorry, that's what it's called. So last year I started off, I got the set just exactly how it was, and I actually had the straps originally when I went out on the sticks, and I ended up switching to the rope mod. And the rope mod, I got that from the DIY Sportsman. Not to say that he was the one who invented it, I don't know. But what I liked about that was, with me being brand new to this, I needed as much help as I could to be quiet. So with the stick talons, they just come off very easy. And you have these here. So I went with a rope mod, and it's a very simple, and I'm a big guy. So if I'm able to use this rope mod and feel safe, most hunters are going to feel safe, because I'm far heavier than the average hunter that's out there, and they don't get in the way of anything, and it's just quiet. So I can go around the tree. I believe I have these set to, I think 6 or 7 feet is the length that I started with, and then I have the overhand knot there. But you just throw it around the tree, comes around, and then you come on the back side of this knot, and then you cinch it down. And the pressure between the width of the rope and then the pressure of it pulling against the tree, it actually just locks it in place. And then I just do a half hitch on the other side. It's not even really needed. Kind of creates like that Chinese finger locking mechanism where just the friction alone is going to hold it. But I do that half hitch, and I have been completely safe and secure going up. So with these sticks here, you have, they rotate. These things rotate. So if you're on a crooked tree, same thing with my brothers as well. And then these will go to either side. I wrap these. I was gonna do the stealth strips, and what I ended up doing was I just found this stuff super cheap on Amazon. I'll put the link below, but you get 6 rolls of it, and it's like a medical grade. It kind of just sticks to itself, so there's no adhesive. It doesn't actually leave a film or anything on there, and it's very quiet. It's such a softer material. All right, so like I was saying, so we have so these rotate and move, which is really nice, and then this stuff that I wrapped on here, I'll leave it in the link, and it's just very soft. So if you do happen to hit it, it just deadens that ting sound, that metallic noise that metal makes, which I think is very helpful. So and I think the stealth strips do it too, but this stuff is so cheap that even if I had to replace it, you know, every season, it's not a big deal at all. And it takes a few minutes. The steps, when they rotate, they go either direction. What I like about the XOP steps, they're actually a little bit longer. So they're a little bit longer, and they actually curl up at the end. So I will say,
we'll have to show them that side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, so they actually curl up at the end, and I'll grab one of these other ones here. And it's in my opinion, it's a much better design, and really that's why Cody came up with it, is because of the fact that he used these XOPs for years, and he would get into trees that I probably wouldn't get into. But you can see they're much larger, and they have that curl. So your boot, you have more boot on there. So I like that a lot. I actually like that a lot. I wish I could actually just get the actual step and just replace it.
What I also like, that clearance on the back is an extra
inch. Yeah, so right here on the stick itself, you have this part that goes to the tree, and then you're climbing up and you're going to be gripping this. On the XOPs, it's an extra inch, and so you just get a little bit more clearance from the bark of the tree, which just gives you a little bit better grip when you're climbing up. And again, like I said, I'm a big guy, and I don't, I don't climb trees for a living or anything like that, and I didn't have any problems. I wasn't getting into crazy trees that had extreme lean on them, so I didn't run into any issues even with this. But I wear a size 11 shoe, so does my brother. So when you're wearing big rubber boots and whatnot, I mean, by no means is it a small foot, but again, we're not wearing size 13s either. So for anyone who's got really big feet, the XOPs are going to fit much better on a bigger boot. So you have that. When I got it to stand originally, I did wrap this, and the reason that I did it was the bottom of this is metal and is exposed, and when you're just putting it down, I didn't want that tink, that metallic noise. So this deads that noise, and it also gives you kind of a reference point when you're looking and you're hunting and you're leaning forward. You feel that slight lip and the lift of this rope because it's a little bit thicker, and so it's just a little thing where you don't have to quite look down. You can feel it with your foot and know exactly where you are. And the other thing that I got pretty well right away was the mollies. So this was actually just bought used on eBay, and it's worked out great. So what I have at my cottage, I actually have one of these scent killer lockers, or scent crusher lockers, and I'll stick this whole stand in there and just put it in the locker and then run it the night before I'm going to hunt. I just do it one time a week, and I don't want to degrade any of the material, especially these straps and stuff like that. So I don't want to do anything excessive, but I'll do it once a weekend, and just to kill the sweat and the scent that's on this, because when I'm on a tree, this is dangling down and it's there. So as scent free as I try to be, means nothing if my tree stand's just filled with all my sweat and smell and skin follicles and all that. So I run that, and it works great. I mean, no one can be scent free completely, but I take the tactics that I've learned from Dan Infall, and really just even the hunting public, where they don't care anything about scent. They do no scent control at all, and they strictly go by the wind. And what I try to do, another hunter that I was really inspired by was John Eberhart, who he does things almost completely opposite of Dan Infalt, and yet they're both very successful. He believes 100% in scent control, and he believes heavily in the carbonated activated carbon suits. So I actually do have those. Again, what I try to marry together both. I figure if I am scent free and it's not too much of a process for me and I can do it, then I'm gonna do that, and hopefully it'll be in my advantage at some point. I haven't seemed to be winded, but again, you know, what you can't see happening, you just don't know that it is happening. So I could be very well being winded for all I know. But I try to do what I can, and hopefully it'll pay off at the end. So as far as my setup, my stand with the sticks on, all 4 sticks, and this seat, which is heavier than the original one with seat, and then you have the Molly system, it's 27 pounds. All right, so not to say that's substantially lighter, but the XOP stand here has a smaller platform because this is their larger one, the Alpha. They also have an Assault, which is smaller. The Vanish is their smaller version, but those sticks, because they're, I don't know if they use a thicker steel or what they use, the metal, but they're heavier. And so right there, I'm saving weight. So his was 32 with his setup minus the backpack. My backpack, again, so what I did was I have this, and it fits right inside here, and I run these straps right up over top, just like that, and just like that. Then when I'm out there, I take a bungee, I just strap it across, and that's going to hold it in place. And so I actually have a Quiet Cat mountain bike. I just throw this thing on, and I take off and I cruise through the woods with this on my back. Last year I had my bow actually strapped to this. This year I'm actually gonna mount my bow to the front of my bike, so that when I'm gonna use ATV things, I'm gonna come up with a way to do it. I've been doing some research and figuring it out. But that way, when I'm walking to my area where I know I'm trying to get to, I want to have my bow in my hand, and I don't want to have to take this all off, unstrap my bow when I park my bike. I want to be able to get off, grab my bow, and start walking. So what I did was I liked this because of the fact that if I'm just doing a quick little scouting trip, I can disconnect this and either take just this or just a smaller backpack. When I'm actually going out hunting, when I get up in the tree, this is where my hunting stuff is. So I have my binoculars. This is awesome. I have a flare. My wife bought this for me 3 years ago now, and this is sweet. And so what it is a thermal imaging, and I really don't use it for hunting as much as I've used it for actually tracking the deer after the shot. So a couple times I've actually helped a hunter where he was completely looking the wrong direction. It was actually in the snow, but there were snow tracks everywhere, and then his boot tracks everywhere. And so I was able to just find a heat signature. It doesn't look like a deer; it just looks. You can see a glow, and you're like, something's over there. And ended up finding his deer in a completely different location than he thought. But then I have my gloves. Again, it's scent lock gloves. I do use the full mask, just again trying to cover up as much as my body as I can. And so I use that system. I have a scent lock suit that I use, or I mean pants and a jacket. I got my my Nikon binoculars and then a grunt tube. And then in the front here, I actually have a charger for cell phone for actually this. If it needs to be charged, I have the cords and whatnot. And then I have my flashlight, and I use a headlamp. So then inside, again, I have the same muddy. I bought mine used on Facebook and for a ridiculously cheap price. I can't even remember right now, but it was pretty well used. It's definitely had some wear and tear on it, but I'm not out there trying to impress the deer with my newest equipment. I needed something that I could film with, and last year I just used the GoPro, and my son's hunt was, you couldn't really see much, but this is going to be connected to the tree, and then you have the camera arm. And I have an old DSLR camera that I haven't been using because the iPhones have just gotten so good that truly, for the kind of photography that I'm doing, it's fine. So this camera's been sitting around, and now I'm going to be using it for hunting. It's not the most ideal camera to use for hunting, but it's free since I already own it. So that's what I got. And this backpack right now is 15 pounds the way that it is, and I haven't put the camera in yet. Where I'm debating is that I'm either going to put the camera here inside this pouch, or I'm going to have my mom, because she knows how to sew better than I do, but I'm actually going to see if she will sew on some molly webbing on the outside of this so that I can strap this camera arm and the base to the outside of this backpack, so that I don't have to worry about having anything banging on the interior, and I can just have my camera in there and whatever gear I need. So that's the game plan for now, and as the season gets going, hopefully we'll have much better footage than we had last year, and